Welcome to our channel. Watch the video until the end. Leave a like, and subscribe to the channel to support us.
Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system, is a gas giant capable of sucking in and condensing millions of tons of space debris. So, why don't we use it to solve one of Earth's most unpleasant problems? Our garbage. What would happen if we decided to send our planet's waste into space and hurl it towards Jupiter? How would we send all this trash into space? And would this help solve the problem or make things worse?
This is what would happen if we dumped all our trash on Jupiter.
Before we start shooting waste-laden rockets from the stratosphere towards Jupiter, filled with moldy food, electronic waste, and plastic packaging, let's look at the journey these objects currently take from production to disposal.
Waste management is a complex process.
Around the world, there are many different strategies, from curbside bin collection to highly advanced recycling sorting programs. After disposal, waste ends up in landfills or incinerators, depending on regional infrastructure. Naturally, not all waste reaches its destination, and thus, there are human beings on the planet. A certain amount of human waste can be counted on. And where humans are not present, like in the Pacific Ocean,
well, even there, our waste is present.
Just look at the Pacific trash vortex for proof. It should not be surprising that, as landfills are too close and sea levels continue to rise, humanity is in desperate search of a solution. And this solution might be over 778 million kilometers away. Designing a program that would allow waste to be transported from your home to the atmosphere of Jupiter would require huge technological advancements and significant international cooperation, to say the least.
We would have to completely rethink the way we handle everything. Luckily for you, this is what would happen. We start with collection.
Perhaps you would still be able to throw everything into one or two different bins, as usual. But then, local, regional, and national governments would need to employ a highly sophisticated system of automated drones to process the waste to make it ready for space travel. Our trash would need to be compacted to maximize the payload of each rocket that would send it on its journey. We would need compaction sites capable of handling a volume of waste greater than we have ever imagined. And then we would have to compact it all into the densest possible object. We would need a sufficient number of sites to handle about 2.1 billion tons of waste produced annually, globally. And this figure is not expected to decrease anytime soon.
With a space waste program, we can expect it to increase.
Perhaps more important than all this would be the need to completely decontaminate this waste from all the Earth microbes that might want to hitch a free ride to Jupiter. You might think, why decontaminate all the waste if I would destroy it anyway? Well, the last thing we would want is to wipe out any form of alien life that might be out there with our big ball of waste. There's also the chance that our bacterial life forms could get lost somewhere along the way. And then who knows what could happen?
We wouldn't want an Earth disease landing on Mars.
It could kill the life forms on the planet or cause them to evolve in strange ways. So, instead of messing with aliens, let's keep them safe and decontaminate the trash. Transporting this colossal mass of waste through the solar system to Jupiter would require spacecraft of sizes and capacities never seen before. In addition to having to survive long trips to Jupiter and back, over and over, they would need to carry a huge amount of weight. In addition to having to get them safely off the planet into orbit, they would need advanced propulsion systems that exist only in our imagination or in the most advanced scientific laboratories. Think of something like nuclear fusion or ion thrusters. If we could do it, it would be a gigantic leap forward in space exploration technology. But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
We still have to see what happens when we get to Jupiter.
Upon arrival at the largest planet in our cosmic neighborhood, the spacecraft would release their load of waste into the atmosphere of the gas giant. There, the planet's powerful gravitational force would ensure that our waste fell deeper and deeper into the swirling colored gases below. In the upper layer of the atmosphere, our waste would plummet through a temperature of about -145 degrees and a pressure equal to sea level on Earth. From there on, things would get even more intense. In these ammonia gas clouds, the protective casing of the cargo containers would start to erode. As the atmospheric pressure increased, millions of times greater than sea level on Earth, the containers would break open, spreading clouds of waste that would rapidly disintegrate due to the breakdown of their molecular bonds. If a container managed to descend into Jupiter's deeper layers, it would never land on a surface, of course. There is no surface on this gigantic gas giant. But if something reached close to the core, it would be decomposed into its most basic form in the hellish temperatures reaching 24,000 degrees.
Metals would melt and blend together.
Plastics would be reduced to their smallest molecules. From there, we could celebrate this disintegration. Finally, our trash could be completely recycled in the heart of Jupiter, but then we would have to go back and start all over again. A risky journey, especially if it involves navigating through the asteroid belt. Imagine the kind of cosmic disaster awaiting the day a trash ship explodes and sends waste scattering throughout the solar system for eternity.
This raises another issue.
If we knew we could really get rid of all our trash by sending it into space, would we do anything to limit our consumption at home?
Or would it mean that we would produce even more waste than is humanly imaginable?
Before considering such a wild and costly project like this, we should consider the way we treat our planet. Not to mention the amount of waste that the development of such a huge and powerful spacecraft would create, and the amount of fuel needed for takeoff. After all, it would be better to work with governments and companies to reduce consumption, improve recycling systems, and design a more sustainable future.
Sure. Maybe there's another place to dump all our waste, a bit closer to home, like volcanoes.
But that's a story for another video.